Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. Before I get started, I'm going to leave a link in the top corner and in the description for the channel's Facebook page. There you get to see what I do on the horology course and upcoming reviews, or you can send me a message. Anyway, look what we have here. We have yet another stunning watch from Longines. This is a brand which can almost do no wrong at the moment. Every one of their watches I reviewed I've been so smitten with, and this is no exception. This one here is the Spirit Pioneer edition, and I think this watch is an absolute stunner. I would be proud to own this in my collection. In fact, my other half loves this watch so much, and she only has tiny 6-inch wrists, and this would be the watch she said she would wear. But anyway, before I get too far into review, I've got to say a big thank you to Ryan over at Francis Gaye of Coventry for allowing me to review this watch. They've got a massive selection of watches in stock. It's well worth popping into. If you're a bit further afield, check out their website. I'll leave a link in the description below. So anyway, as I say, this watch, to me, it's a star. Let's talk sizes first. 42mm, by what's going to be a bone of contention for many people, but we will talk about this a bit later. 16.5mm. The lug-to-lug 51mm, and the strap size is 22mm. Now, simply look at that dial. It just looks fantastic. It may confuse a few people because they may think this is actually a lume shot, but it isn't. This is the colour they've gone with, and I think it looks absolutely cracking for it. It really does look good. You may not think then there's any lume to this watch, but the lume is strong with this one. It really does look good. I'll drop a couple of pictures in. Yeah, the lume looks as, almost as good in the dark as it does in the day, and you can't say that about a lot of watches. So anyway, we have these raised hour markers which give the dial depth, I'd say. It really does look nice how they've done it. Then you also have this raised chapter ring going on there, and you also have this lovely bezel go on the inner bezel there. And I like the way that's black in shadow, and then you catch a bit of light and you get to see this light come round there. It makes the dial a little bit more playful, the way it looks, and it adds a certain premium feel to it. I also love how you've gone for the green on these PVD coated titanium look hands, and they've gone for the green with the chrono, both the hour totalizer and the minute totalizer for the chrono, where the constant running second hand there is just uncoloured, well, apart from PVD titanium look on there. And I like they've kind of, it's made it playful, but it also is functional, and I do like that. I even like the way they've kind of set back these subdials here. It really does give it a lot of different depths, and I think that looks really good for it in the simple chronometer wording up the top here. Let's move those hands out the way. And there you go, and you can see up there. It just looks so good. It really does, I think. Now, this is a chrono, so let's start with chrono, so you can hear it. Very, very clean and crisp. That's because this movement houses a column wheel. Now, you may also a vertical clutch, I should point out. Now, you may think, what does that really mean to me? Because there's basically a column wheel, or the cheaper version is a cam, and the only real difference is the snappy feel of the pushers. Now, on a cam, these can feel sharper, this can feel less, but on a column wheel, they should feel the same, and they do. That's really nice. And what's meant by a vertical clutch, instead of two gears meshing together as you start it, you can sometimes get a slight deviation before those gears actually click into place, but as you press this, it should be instant. And it really is on this. They're little geeky things, don't mean much to most people, but if you're a watchmaker or so forth, that's cool. Very cool. So anyway, as we come past this dial, we have this gorgeous double-domed sapphire crystal here. It comes with AR on both the inside and outside, and that's what gives it that lovely clarity. Some people may whinge saying, oh, you can scratch it on the outside, but hey, you can scratch any part of a watch on the outside, and if you do, worst case scenario, you remove the AR coating off the front. it is just one of those things. So I personally prefer it because I think you just get the extra clarity with that. Now, as we come past this, we have this rather nicely polished bezel going on there, satinized finished on the sides, and a beautiful kind of really sharp polish to it there. And I should also point out, this is titanium, grade 5 titanium. So even though it looks kind of a bit of a lump, it has that kind, you think this would be quite a heavy watch, it actually weighs about 93 grams. It is very, very light. And it just looks, I think it's quite a surprising watch. When you say to someone you're gonna have green, you know, green hours and hands and all that, you think it might not work, but this watch just nails it. It really does. You come around here, you have a sign crown, which, as we just seen, is a screw down crown. You do have 100 meters of water resistancy on this. And as we turn it round, we have the back going on here, which is a screw down back. No display back on this, unfortunately, which is a shame because underneath this is the L688.4 movement. I know, sounds amazing, doesn't it? Which basically is a variation of a variation of a variation of a 7750. You can tell this because if I was to put it down, you can hear the rotor wobble. That's when you give it a shake. The only reason why you can hear that is the 7750 base movements are unidirectional winders, so it only winds in one way, one direction, which means when it winds, when it goes the other way, there's no resistance against it, and so the rotor will just spin. And I really like that. It doesn't always make that noise, but only when you give it a bit of shake. But sometimes you can feel the rotor moving, and I love it. I did put this on the time grapher, being that it is a chronometer spec. You are expecting good things, and on the time grapher, it most certainly delivered them. I think it was coming out at minus 0.5 of a second, and to be fair, looking at the amplitude, I possibly could have wound it up a little bit more than what I had. So this watch is just superb. It performs exceptionally well. I can't fault it there at all. I say that movement does have 66 hours worth of power reserve in there. I think it's a 30 joule movement. It also has a silicon hairspring. Again, geeky thing, you're thinking, how does that affect me? But its simple fact is it means it's got less chance of becoming magnetized. And that does happen a lot on watches, especially nowadays. We've got more and more electronics around the house, which means you've got more and more kind of magnetic fields like laptops and things like that, even phones. So this should be more resistant to that. What else do we have here? Say, let's have a look. Actually, I haven't even neglected to mention the actual strap on this. Now, if you're not a kind of nylon strap fan, now it does have leather on the inside with quick release spring bars. It also has a titanium keeper, which is a nice touch, I think. One fixed keeper, one floater. You can opt to have this on a leather strap. There are variations of straps available for this watch, so good to keep in mind. Now, I'll zoom out. We'll do a bit of a wrist check. I'm wearing an SD4K by Rolex, and Bob has the most iconic of all the Zins, the EZM1, which subsequently, that is 16mm plus. This is 15mm plus, and yet I've never heard anyone complain about the thickness of an SD4K. So do keep that in mind, because honestly, when it's on the wrist, you don't even notice. Maybe if you're the type who wears a, you know, a shirt always buttoned down, then you might kind of struggle to get it under. But after all, you know, get a dress watch. That's all I can say there. And that's it on my 7¼ inch wrist. I think it is absolutely gorgeous. I really, really like this watch. The other half absolutely, yeah, loves this one. She would love to own it. So anyway, there you go. That's my little review of the Longines Spirit Pioneer Edition. Any questions, leave them in the comments below. And most importantly, guys, stay safe out there. Bye.